Bro, 72 subscribers. That's great. That is really great. I think I was at like 69 a couple weeks ago. So that's about 3, which to me is good, if we can get this to 100 though, I'll put out a 100 subscribers thing. I just woke up. I'm stuttering because I literally got up like 5 minutes ago. But if we can get to 100, I'll put out a 100 subscriber special. So without further ado, let's get back to Up Next.
Even though I stay beefing with a few sets. Press play, take a few breaths. Cause I rap what I live and I don't flex. Life on the road, get a few checks. 2 bad bitches give me good sex. On stage doing mic checks. Came in the game hitting on next. And I'm up next. Came in the game and I'm up next. Backstage and I'm up next. Got a game face when I'm up next. And I'm up next. Came in the game and I'm up next. Backstage and I'm up next. Got a game face when I'm up next.
So today for Up Next, I wanted to do an episode about what's going on with Hurricane Irma and a couple other things that are happening at the moment inside of the news. So Hurricane Irma is the next big hurricane of the season, it's looking like. And, a lot of people are really worried about it, Because here's the thing. Harvey already hit Texas. And it already did a lot of damage to the, state of Texas. Houston is underwater. Corpus Christi looks like it's been completely flattened and shit. Like, shit happened. Shit went down. So, Texas got hit. Texas got took out, So now that Irma's out inside of the Caribbean Sea, it's coming toward Florida, and it's strengthening to like a Category 4 storm. It's getting really bad. Like you look at the news stories about Irma, what you get is this shit. Florida residents are now preparing, and the governor has declared a state of emergency. So, think about that for a second. A state of emergency has been declared because of this shit. It's gotten bad. So, it's crazy with Irma, what's going on, It's just amazing that, like, we're getting hit by 2 major hurricanes just within a week of each other. So, it looks like the feds might be a bit, strained and everything. You don't know exactly where Irma's going yet, but it's looking more and more like it's going to hit Florida. So Texas and Florida, it's going to be the 2 disaster zones. And Irma may be worse because it's a Category 4. It's about to, like, have the wind and the flooding. I mean, actually, that's debatable. Because, like, the one stalled over Texas and was flooding it, whereas this other one isn't going to stall over it and flood it. This is just going to have the wind and the rain. So, yeah. Well, that's Hurricane Irma. It's coming toward Texas. And, there's much other news to talk about. The next 2 pieces of news are about Donald Trump, the beloved God Emperor of the United States, or supposedly he's the God Emperor. I don't even know. Like, the first piece of news is North Korea. He's going at it with North Korea now. Well, actually, there's 3 pieces of news concerning Trump. He's going at it with North Korea now, which it scares me. We got a man-child with control over, nuclear weapons. Now, I could be talking about Donald Trump. I could be talking about Kim Jong-un. Maybe I'm talking about both. But, we got two men, children with nukes and very, very fragile egos going at it with each other. And no one's being the adult, People often talk about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm about to say something that a lot of you won't know, but I'm about to red pill a lot of you. John Kennedy didn't end the Cuban Missile Crisis. He didn't. If John Kennedy had kept going his way, we would all have been dead. Kennedy was about ready to hit the button. You know why we ended? Because Nikita Khrushchev, the evil communist, cut a deal. He told Kennedy, we'll pull our missiles out of Cuba if you pull your missiles out of Turkey. And Kennedy said, well, I don't want to be publicly embarrassed. They said, just secretly do it then. We won't tell anyone. You don't have to tell anyone. Just pull them out of Turkey. We'll pull ours out of Cuba, and we're all squared up. And that's what they did. Khrushchev made a good decision. That was a good compromise. Kennedy, he didn't really do anything until Khrushchev gave him that deal. Before that, it was about, 2 minutes to midnight. So I'm tired of hearing the Kennedy thing, because here's the thing. There was an adult in the room, and it was Nikita Khrushchev. Yeah, it sucks that the communists were acting more mature than us. But in this situation, there is no adult in the room. Trump isn't an adult. Kim Jong-un isn't an adult. They're both pretty bad. I guess Un is worse, or Kim, or whatever his last name is, because, the culture in Asia is different. Kim is worse because he's killed millions, and he's an oppressive dictator, one of the worst in the world. But when it comes to characteristics of them, they're both very similar. And that's the problem. They're going at it with themselves almost. It's like you against you. Okay? So, the other thing I want to talk about is the Dreamer controversy. Trump's about to revoke the DREAM Act. And I have mixed feelings about the DREAM Act. On one hand, if you came here when you were like 3 months old, you've been in this country basically your whole life. You're going to be an American. That's how you identify. And you didn't have a choice. You were 3 months old. But at the same time, they weren't born here, so technically they are illegal immigrants. So we have to do something about the illegal crisis. Okay? We can't kick them all out. We can't keep them all. We have to make a determination. Who do we remove and who do we keep? That's hard. But it seems like the only two sides to this debate are boot all the Mexicans out, period, even if they're legal. Basically just throw everyone out. Or keep all the illegals, including like MS-13 and dangerous criminal gangs and shit, and just let them fuck this country to death, There's no one in the middle, it seems like, anymore. But that's how it is with a lot of these arguments. And the third piece of news concerning our, beloved Cheeto God Emperor is the Russia probe investigation is getting closer to the White House. I personally think it's bullshit. Like, I'm so tired of hearing about Russia. No, there was no Russian collusion. What the fuck is this? I got some shit from Windows 10. Hold up. And it won't even let me end the video or anything. Like, fine, review settings, bitch. Okay, I accept. Now get the fuck off my screen, you stupid bitch. Something popped up, some pop-up. It blocked everything else, and I had to review settings for my computers, and I had to accept the shit. So I just clicked accept and went on. But anyways, I'm so tired of the Russia probe. There are things you can criticize Donald Trump on without either A, screaming racism, which is such a fucking used word. Like, literally, we've beaten that word to death. Racism has literally become meaningless. That's why there are actual racists coming out of the woodwork now, because guess what? When you call everyone a racist, real racists don't feel that, stigmatized anymore. Because now you can't even tell, is the person they're calling racist actually racist, or are they just bitching? So that allows people like Richard Spencer to come out of the woodworks. Whereas if we had kept the word for real racism and not just used it on everyone, it would still have a bit of taboo to it. Or, when you criticize about this Russia thing. I'm so tired of hearing about Russia. Before the election, all the news sites were like, oh, Russia can't hack the election. Now they're screaming that they did. What do you mean they hacked the election? How? You mean they actually got inside of the voter rolls and they actually like changed results? Because I really don't believe that. I haven't seen any evidence of that. And they're saying, no, they hacked Hillary Clinton. And then they put it on WikiLeaks, aka WikiLeaks, the site that has exposed Russia before for shit. Why would they suddenly work with Russia? Then Hillary Clinton came out a week before the the end of the election, and she started screaming that the FBI, Trump, WikiLeaks, and Russia were working together to throw the election to Trump. So apparently the FBI is now working with Russia. It's like, what is this? McCarthyism? Are we back in the 1950s? Russian plants, Russian spies, Russian ops, Russian this, Russian that. No one cares. You might care, but the average person doesn't. The average person in America doesn't care. You know what we care about? We care about North Korea not nuking us. We care about Hurricane Irma not totally bulldozing the Sunshine State. And we care about the economy staying good. You know, they asked Barack Obama for evidence about, like Russian spying. The news did. Here's what he said. Well, that is top secret. I can't show you those results. Top secret. He's asked for evidence and he says he can't show it. Now you could say, oh, well, that's because it was all top secret. Or if you're a more, smart person like me, you'd say it's probably because the evidence is so fucking sketchy that it would look stupid to anyone who isn't a complete retard. They probably have such sketchy evidence that literally doesn't even add up. They didn't want to show it because they look like complete assholes and just completely stupid. I don't buy the Russian collusion thing. I really don't believe Russia did anything in this election. I really don't believe it. I just don't, okay? I'm not even pro-Trump. I'm very anti-Trump. And I'm willing to call him out on a lot of things. For example, he did take support from white nationalists during the election. 10% of his supporters were extremists. Now that doesn't mean all of them were. 90% were normal Americans, but 10% were very nuts. They were extremists. They were the Richard Spencers of the world. White nationalism is a bad ideology. It's literally American fascism. Trump took their support. Trump has made the sounds of a fascist. He said stuff like he wanted a military parade for his inauguration, both by Trump Tower and in Washington, D.C. Okay? This dude has basically said that the media, that he should be able to sue the media whenever they say anything bad about him. That's bad too. Okay? Trump's done stupid shit. I'm willing to criticize him, but I'm not going to criticize him for stupid things that don't even make sense, for things that aren't real arguments like racism. Yes, I'm going to criticize some of his supporters for it, but I don't believe Trump is really a racist. I think Trump is just a dickbag that'll do anything to get elected. Okay? I'm definitely not going to criticize him for, quote unquote, Russia. Fuck that. Also, I'm not about to jump on this bandwagon of the victims of Trump, because half the people claiming victimization are definitely not victims. African America, gay people, women, how are they victims of Trump? Trump didn't threaten to deport African Americans to Africa. He's not threatened gay people. Okay? The two groups that have the most to worry about are illegal immigrants from Mexico and Muslims. Those are the two groups he's really shit on. Beyond that, the other groups just, fuck you. You're the reason he got elected, because when we had a real argument, you went to join in with your false victimization to make it look like it was nothing but bullshit. Great job. Now he's president. So the last thing I want to talk about really quick is the a lot of people ask, well, actually I know what it is. The alt-right now, they've got a new insult for Albanians and Bosnians, and it's simply Turk. They're accusing them of being Turkish transplants in Europe. Now, if they were smart, they'd realize that Bosnian is a South Slavic language and Albanian is a separate Indo-European language, neither of which is a Turkic language, but they're fucking retarded, so they don't know that. So they use this stupid racist insult that because Bosnians and Albanians are mostly Muslim and Mediterranean in appearance, that they're therefore Turks. No, they're not. Give me a fucking break. Turks, It's such a stupid insult. I'm Lila Dog 568. As always, peace the fuck out.